This is my video for the behavior strategy, self-monitoring of attention to instruction. This is a life skill students need to know how to practice. Education is not always going to be exciting. It's not always going to be fun, but it is important. Just as adults have a hard time with the new video games, I come from an era where the princess was being saved by two Italian plumbers. These games are now a little more complicated. It is not as, one doesn't really want to be engaged in those games. So I can relate when something is not that interesting, especially when you're not good at it. It's easy to not want to pay attention. So this particular strategy helps students monitor themselves and partner with the teacher to stay focused on the task. The student will be shown there's going to be a chart where it's a 60-minute session where there are 5-minute increments. There's 5 minute. They're broken down into 5 minutes. There's a device that will allow the student to ring off. It will ring off for the student to ask to check the sheet and to check if they're staying on task. The student will take this information and document on the chart whether they've paid attention 11 checks out of the 12 checks. The goal is to have at least 80% of the checks checked off. The teacher will also have the same monitoring system, and during conferences, after the 60-minute session, the student and the teacher will briefly review. And to help keep the student honest and to show that the teacher is serious about the student staying on task. And this hopefully will reflect in the student's grades. The student would also learn of the reward system given if the student is on task and is remaining on task and retaining information. The student can get a homework pass or something that's really particular for the individual. Something, maybe extra computer time, to show the benefit of making great choices or productive choices in the classroom. I would model this by having the student explain something that's important to them and have them tell me a story. I would conveniently not pay attention, and then I will show them the importance of paying attention and how it could be frustrating to the teacher and how I just missed out as the audience on a great story. I would also emphasize that this strategy is not a reflection on their inability or their quality of person, but it's just a tool to help them build the skill of paying attention, because paying attention is a practice. Some people do it innately, other people need to work on it, and this is something that's going to help them learn to stay focused. So I will model what it looks like, how we together, me and the student, will watch a video for 2 minutes, and for every 30 seconds I will check on the self-monitoring sheet what I was doing. I would do a think out loud and make a mistake, just like with explicit instruction, all the details of explicit instruction, to help the student have that thought process as they're implementing the strategy. I will then have the student write. So during the we do or the lead, I will have the student write the details of what is the procedure, which was just modeled to them. I will then have the student read me a series of questions about the strategy. Underneath the questions, there will be an answer. So the student will hear the question, hear the answer, hear my thought process. So it will just be more, this is more of a practice together. I'm not challenging them in a sense, but I'm just reinforcing the information. Then finally, I'll have the student actually practice by his or herself. I'll have them watch a 4-minute video on the history of India, and then have 1-minute intervals. And I will monitor them to see if they were paying attention. I might throw in a comprehension question as well to verify that they are listening. Then I will test the student. I'll test the student to accomplish 80% of the goal. I will have another 4-minute video. If the student accomplishes his goal, they will receive a reward for the day. The way I would prompt these strategies, I will ask the student to, I would tap the desk 3 times if the student is not paying attention. And if necessary, I will, that's either when I keep them focused, keep them on task, or I will bring out the sheet if necessary. The procedures to correct behavior, I definitely will have a meeting to speak about why the strategy is necessary, why the strategy is necessary for that student. I'll discuss if there's any complications for the student, if the student doesn't understand, if it's not comfortable. The emotional component of it. Sometimes people feel alienated that they're the only one doing something. But I'll have to, if that was the case, I'll definitely emphasize that this is a strategy, and a strategy sometimes is a tool. It is a tool to help you build something. Right now, you're building this, like I would say, you're building the skill of learning how to pay attention beyond the distractions. Because we all get distracted, but some of us know how to, have been trained to focus our attention. The reinforces, the student will enjoy a choice of a reward if they accomplish the 80%. They need to accomplish daily. This is a daily activity. And the whole point of a strategy, the whole point of special education is to, if you will, to have students understand, to get them to the higher, to train them to get to a higher place of academic or behavioral skill or ability. So after a while, hopefully this wouldn't be necessary after accomplishing the task, and this could be revisited after some time. And the way I plan to monitor this is through the chart system. The student will have a chart, I will have a chart, and this is a daily routine. So we will compare the notes with the monitoring sheet, but maybe once a week we will go through the chart and to see if they're paying attention, and also we'll verify this through their grades as well. Paying attention could be a challenge. So besides through the way I plan my lessons, the way I deliver lessons, I plan to be energetic, I plan to be engaging, I plan to be assessing the students from socially, emotionally, academically, cognitively. And if this doesn't, if they're still unable to pay attention through all my assessments, this strategy is meant to help further them along. I think this one particularly is something I will carry with me through my career. Uh, it's easy to pay attention to what's entertaining. So my effort to make education entertaining without compromising the quality of what they learn. Sometimes not everything is going to be fun and exciting. So this is where I'm going to have to teach students how to remain focused.